Never seen a rope. Pop out like a boogeyman. Thought you seen a ghost. Yeah, pressure. So impressive. Ain't no pressure. Ain't no pressure. So impressive. Yeah, I'm pressure.
Hey, big old deal. We are back. We are back. You already know what's going on, man. Yeah. Today, we got a crazy one. No, when I say crazy, I'm talking about crazy. You know what I'm saying? Nigga don't never pull the shades down. When nigga pull the shit and do that, it's crazy. So today we got Fleece Johnson, man. Now if y'all know who this is, nigga. So what's that TV show? Damn, what's the name of it? Damn, Boondocks. So if you know, you know. Let's go ahead and get into it. Y'all gonna catch on later though. You know what I mean? It's just bear with me. All right, hold on 1 second. Boom, 1, 2. All right, there we go. All right, man. I had went through this like a couple minutes into the interview myself yesterday, and I was like, nah. We gotta react to this. We gotta react to this because this one is crazy. Now, what he's known for, obviously, niggas gonna be like, oh, you know, the nigga, he called the booty warrior, my nigga, godly. You know what I'm saying? Like, he called the niggas, yes, the niggas the booty warrior. Oh, matter of fact, I forgot he was on Drewski. He was on Drewski. What was that? What was that TV? Damn, not it wasn't a TV show, but could have been Records. So he actually came on there, but there's like a viral clip of him like when he was in jail and shit like that, and then he was also on the Boondocks and stuff like that. But you know what I'm saying? Besides that though, when you hear niggas like his backstory and like why he became, bro, this nigga lost his marbles. Not even like besides the whole, cause niggas don't really we don't care about the booty word, all that type of shit, right? You know what I'm saying? Hold on. We gotta fix the camera, man. We don't worry about that. But it's just his backstory though, like bro, like from when he was a kid all the way till now. Man, I'm telling you, bro, this shit sound like a movie. The shit he talking about that he was doing, and I'm talking about from the time he was like 11 all the way up until like 16 years old, bro. You would have thought this nigga was a grown man. But with that being said, man, let's go ahead and get into it though. So it's Fleece Johnson, man.
I'm married too, and the beat goes on.
Who you married to?
Yeah, I got a wife, but I can't tell you her name.
That's fine. I probably wouldn't know her.
You didn't know I was married? You didn't know that?
I didn't know that. That's actually a really interesting
I've
detail.
been married for 6 years.
How's that going?
Like all marriages, it's got its ups and downs. You know, you got to fight for your respect. She fights for her respect. We argue. We go through what every marriage go through. You know, arguing, you know, ups and downs.
Because we're going kind of all over the place already, but I mean, one of the most interesting things to me about your story is the fact that you actually ended up getting locked up before you were ever able to be with a woman when you were young. So your entire introduction to sex and human relationships was pretty much behind bars with other men.
Right, that's true.
Do you feel like had everything worked out differently that you would have just been with women your whole life and that you wouldn't have been interested in anything like that?
Yeah, I do. I believe it.
That's wild because I mean, but I don't want to get into the most depressing stuff right away, but I watched another interview where you were talking about how you were basically having other men come at you from a very early age.
Yeah, that did happen. You know, I was molested as a child.
What age was that?
I was around about 11, 12.
And do you feel like that changed you a lot? And how did that change you?
It changed me tremendously because at the time, I was having problems with my, I got siblings at home. It's 7 of us in the family. There's four boys and 3 girls. And one day I walked in the room and caught them having sex. And so I said, I'm going to tell on you. So what they did was they all came up with a story. So when my mom and them came home, they came up with something, had me get whooped for something that I didn't do, just to stop me from telling what I saw them do. And so,
Man, that's what I'm saying. Like, nigga, he turned, and this ain't even, this is like the beginning. So imagine him, he being like, he's 11 years old, or he probably was younger, but nigga, he innocent, you know what I'm saying? And he, and then next thing, and he about to tell on them because you see them doing some shit they ain't got no business doing, and then like, that's where the rabbit hole just starts getting deeper and deeper, bro. This shit's crazy. Now watch this, just pay attention.
at the time, I didn't have nobody that I can come to and talk to and tell them what's going on and stuff. And then when I got molested, I didn't have a big brother I can run to and say, hey, man, this guy did this to me. Because my brothers now was now against me for me seeing them do what I saw them do.
Was that part of a pattern that all your brothers and sisters, like, they were all having sex with each other? And did you feel like this was a consensual
It
thing?
wasn't all of them. It wasn't all of them.
Yeah, like you see how Adam tried to like make it seem like it was all, he was like, yeah, all your brothers and shit. Like, nigga, he said literally, like, he was very specific on what he said. And then Adam was just trying to like turn it into like something totally different. Like, he's trying to spin the narrative. Like, nigga, come on, bro. You know damn well that ain't what he said.
It was 2 sisters and 2 brothers. They did it.
And do you feel like this was consensual, that they had agreed?
Yeah, they was doing it. She one of my sisters offered me something, and I said no.
Oh, that's
And,
crazy. That's crazy work.
So, I had to live a life, and then I get molested. Now I get paranoid that, somebody gonna see some feminine stuff in me. So I started coming out with an aggressive personality to stop people from seeing that side of me. So
Hey, you know what's crazy? Like the psychology, or not, it is a psychology? Yeah, the psyche of people, right? Because I had watched like a documentary about NBA YoungBoy, and it was like similar. Like, obviously he wasn't no booty word or anything like that, but like when you look at his background history, whatever the case is, at some point in time, the nigga got checked into a group home, and in the group home he was getting bullied on, and he was and the thing, he was like, he had asked like why he kept getting beat up, like, you know what I'm saying, like he wasn't doing nothing, he didn't understand it, and he was like young as fuck, he was still young as fuck, and then after a while, man, he turned into like a whole beast, and yeah, y'all gotta watch that documentary. It's crazy. Like, he turned into a whole like because he was getting bullied on in the group home. That's what made him. And then one of his homies, like one of his close homies that like taught him how to do a lot of stuff, whatever the case is, he ended up getting killed. And then after that, that was like the last straw. And then he just turned into a whole demon after that type shit. Now watch his story though.
I would come out real mean, real aggressive, start packing pistols and all this stuff, and just to throw people off, really, from what I was doing. And then when I got off into that, it took a personality of its own. I actually became that, real tough in the hood. And so it's all in my book right here.
Oh, who is Fleece Johnson? Okay, I got to get my hands on that.
Yeah. It's all in the book about my life. So I'm getting all these
That's
whoopings and
crazy.
stuff, and so to spite my sister them, I said I ain't gonna cry no more. So they told my mama. So she came in and asked me, did I say? I said, yeah, I said it, and I mean it. So she whooped me till her nose started bleeding, and I wouldn't cry. I wouldn't cry. Then my daddy came in. He whooped me until his hands shook.
Right. I mean, do you think that that also did some
I ain't
damage?
gonna lie. I'm glad I ain't grew up in that era because nigga, they was getting whooped. Like they parents was whooping the shit out of them, bro. Like I remember my mom telling me, you know what I'm saying, stories about like extension cords and all type of shit like that. You feel me? Like, bruh, hell no, nigga. Man, they was taking their aggression out on their kids back then. I see why. Like,
On you,
man,
personality wise, like just
Yeah, it did.
yeah,
It did.
all those beatings, like it's such a wild thing to think of, like why a parent would even want to do that. That's just
Yeah,
hard for me to
yeah.
wrap my head around.
Yeah, back then they didn't have child laws like they got now.
Right.
You know, kids got beat. I got beaten, and my daddy bought his fist up and hit me in the face because I wasn't crying. When I got out of the hospital, I said I'm ready for round 2, and they told me you don't get whoopings no more. So they killed that. You know, I had to go through some stuff to achieve it, but that's what happened.
That's a funny thing about like all of our parents or all of our dads is that they whoop you right up until the point where you can whoop them, and then it usually stops.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
dads are some hoes in that way, aren't they? But okay, so who actually molested you?
Well, it was 2 people, and cause I didn't have nobody to talk to now, and I ain't got no family to talk to. They all mad at me, cause I was gonna tell on what I saw him do. Somebody in the neighborhood, he wants to talk to me, and we walked around the buildings and stuff, and we talked, and then he started wrestling. You know, showing me that he's stronger than me. You know, he wants to wrestle and pin me down on the ground and all this stuff and hunch on me. And but he was the only person I could talk to, him and the other guy. And so once he started doing it, you know, I'm confused about all of this, and I don't know what to do about it. And but when I turned 13 and I started packing them guns real heavy,
nigga, 13.
the 2 guys that
Wait,
did
did this
it come
nigga
up
say
dead.
13?
Just put it like
You was
that.
packing guns at 13, bro? That's crazy.
They did.
I know, and it's a shame that you can't say more about how exactly that went down, but
No, I can't.
that is a fascinating aspect of this in many ways. But yeah, it's a shame that happened to them, but hopefully they got a chance to repent for what they did to you and probably to other men as well.
Yeah, I doubt it. But they didn't get.
Do you say rest in peace to them in any way? Is there any part of your personality that feels sympathy for them?
No. No, it's not. No.
Hey, man, I feel him, though.
It's.
Something like that, yeah.
I wish it. I don't feel no sympathy. Just put it like that. They got what that was coming to them, and they did. So, but it's still it's something I got to live with and had to live with, and so
I feel like in so many words he's saying like he smoked him. Like I feel like yeah, he got them out the paint for sure. And he's like, nigga, that shit. But then it's like bittersweet because it's like, damn, nigga, you made me have to do all that because you wanted to violate me. That's like, nigga, that's some next level violation though. I ain't gonna hold you. Hold on real quick. Yeah, that's like next level violation though.
That aggression that came in me stayed in me. And I kept getting sent to. I was sent to all kinds of places. I was sent to all the boys' camps, detention centers, juveniles. Every one of them I went in, I tore it up, and they closed the place when I left. And so they sent me to a mental hospital, Central State Children Ward. I told my sister and them if they keep messing with me, I'm gonna cut their throat in their sleep. And they went. I wasn't gonna do nothing, but they told my mama, and she called the police, and they came and locked me up. And when I went to court, they sent me to a mental hospital. And when I get out there, I escaped. I escaped twice, and they caught me. The third time I got away, I bust one of them in the head, took their car, and I was in a stolen car, and I took that car off the bridge into the river, the Ohio River.
And you were all right?
And yeah, when I got away, I made me and the car hit the water about the same time. The air pressure was trying to stop me from squeezing out. I took it off the bridge because state troopers and them had the bridge blocked off. And so when I hit the water, my pants and stuff started filling up with water, so I kicked my shoes and everything off. And that's what they found floating. So it was in a Courier Journal newspaper in Louisville. And they said a big old fish ate me. They thought I was dead, held a funeral, all this stuff. But 3 months later, I showed up, but I still got this violent personality, and I'm robbing everybody in the city. I'm robbing. I started robbing dope men because of this woman. She died with a needle stuck in her arm, and she was a real good mama type to me. And
That's crazy. Like just think about that, bro. Like this nigga the nigga started robbing people, not because. Oh, hold on. Let me change the battery real quick. Yeah, so y'all can hear me though. But yeah, nah, like the niggas start you gotta think about it. The niggas start robbing people because one of the ladies that he, you know what I'm saying, that he kind of like looked up to or rock with heavy, he found her dead, strung out with a needle in her arm. Shit, man, I ain't mad at you, bro. Not gonna lie, I ain't mad at you. Let's go.
so when I found that out, I said I'm gonna rob all the dope dealers, and I'm gonna throw the dope away, keep the money. And that's what I did. I robbed the whole city, and then I used to mess with the police. See the police park somewhere and just take a stolen car, run in the back of them, see if they can chase me. They can never catch me though.
I mean, do you think that you would have been acting out this way and doing all of this extreme stuff if you weren't so angry because of the molestation situation?
Ain't no doubt in my mind I would turn out this 100% better. With less anger, less frustration, and but all this played out, man, and I kept it. That personality took a turn, and I got in an incident where the police finally blocked the 34th Street. It's in the Courier Journal newspaper. They even had a picture of the car they shot up, say they got shot up worse than Bonnie and Clyde's car. And I was a juvenile, and the whole city was protesting because, I'm a child, and they shot this car up like this.
But they knew that
That's crazy. I ain't never heard
committing
of that.
crimes all over the city, and they wanted you dead, right? And this is an era before body cams, before security cameras.
And I always pick at them. They been after me a while. I go when they change shift. I pull up in their parking lot. I get out of the car, cuss them out, and then peel rubber and make them come after me. But they could never catch me. And but when they finally caught me, they shot the car up.
Right.
Damn.
And then the main police, he stuck a gun through the window and empty. I saw the fire come out, and then no bullets hit me. Well, this police,
It's crazy. The nigga ain't lying because he got like, he's like talking about like detail, like he's talking in detail, talking about I seen the fire come out the gun. You can't fake that. You can't fake that experience, bro. Like that's crazy. And he talking about he was only a juvenile. I think the nigga was only like, I don't even think he was 16. I think he was like 15, bro. Imagine that going on a high-speed chase at 15 years old, bro. You drive a car. I don't know if he got to that part yet, but you drive a car off a bridge, and right before that they was shooting at you though, shooting, and they said the car was worse. It looked worse than when Bonnie and Clyde car got shot up. That's crazy. I might have to go into that because I didn't know that. I didn't know that even about them. So I gotta probably go into that little documentary. But let's go.
he got fired. My daddy didn't want to file no lawsuit. He said it taught me a lesson, some old stuff. But the police come up dead.
Just
Want me to cut this?
later, the police came up dead?
Yeah, and so I got charged.
Okay.
And so I went trial, and then this fat white lady, she said she saw me do it, but at trial she said they said he in this courtroom. She said no, and everybody in the courtroom just exploded, man, cause they was there for justice, right? So
And see that's how you know, especially at the time. Like you gotta think about this. This is like right back in like the 60s, 70s. You know, shit was still racist as fuck. And then this nigga, I think he from Kentucky. Like, bruh, I'm telling you, you see what the lady said, and they'll do that too. They know how to like, especially the police, man. I didn't see them like force people to switch up the stories, like try to intimidate witnesses just to kind of like fit the narrative. They'll go as far as even hitting up the journalists that's gonna write the articles and stuff like that and tell them what to write. I'm telling you, it's janky out here.
So I left the courtroom that same day. I walked out of the courtroom, and a police car was parked in the street. Well, it wasn't parked; it was in the street, and they was talking, waiting on the verdict. And I jumped in their car and stole their car right there. So they said, "We're gonna get him."
Right after beating a murder charge, you stole a police car right in front of the courthouse.
Yeah.
That's a wild tale right there.
You not doing. I don't. Hell no. Like, bruh, you just beat a murder, my nigga, and then you gonna nah. See, you ain't getting away with no shit like that in California, bro. I
Who you
promise
think
you.
killed the cop?
It's crazy.
I don't know.
That's wild. And this was in Louisville.
You know what that last
Yeah, he
mean?
killed himself. So trying to nothing. Anyway, after that, they caught me with stealing cars and a bunch of robberies. And they said he's not getting out of this. We gonna send him
You
to
know
the
that nigga
penitentiary.
did it.
I was in jail at 14. You know, then I turned 15 and then turned 16 in the penitentiary. And they made sure that I was going to prison. And I started out with just 10 years, man.
Was this before they had separate jails for teenagers and stuff?
Now they had separate jails and stuff, but every one I done been in, I done went in there and told the place something. They said they ain't gonna take me back. You know, I went in there fighting and stuff, and so they said we got a place for them, the penitentiary. We gonna
So you're 14 in the state penitentiary, surrounded by, I assume, a lot of very cold-blooded gang members, killers, etc. Right?
I was in jail at 14. In prison, I turned 16. I was 15. I hit prison at 15 and turned 16. And they wrote an article in the Courier Journal newspaper, and it was titled 16-year-old prisoner want to get out and go straight. And it's in this book. It's in this, here's the article right here that was in the paper.
Right. So even at 16, you were kind of toying with the idea of turning your life around.
No.
That's just what they
I
said.
didn't have no thoughts. I didn't know how to. At that time, I was like borderline illiterate. I ain't been in the school system in about 6 years. I got kicked out of school at the age of 10 and never went back and stuff like that. And so I didn't know how to write my name when I went to prison.
Right.
I learned all that in
And was there
crazy.
actual school programs set up, or did you just have to take it into your own hands to learn?
I took it in my own hand. And I talked to people that got GEDs that can tutor me, right?
Right.
If I got a question or something. But I went to the library, prison library, and they got all kinds of books from first grade all the way up to GED college.
Right.
So I studied myself.
There's a reason why podcasters can turn any topic into an episode
We gotta skip that.
in the past. So if you're ever
They come in, treat me like I was an adult. And they know if they didn't, I would have robbed them and shot their place up.
Damn. So
wow, that was a wild time.
Came right back in on the
Like,
bullshit.
it was just, it feels like you're just describing like a version of America that is just kind of totally different compared to what it's like these days.
Yeah, I am. In all my robberies, I never put a mask on. I never wore a disguise. I run into place, jump up on the counter, pull my gun out, pop it twice, and rob it. And some places I tell them who I am. My name is Fleece Johnson.
So this nigga was trying to
I
get caught.
wanted that type of drama, man. It's like I was. What's been happening to me in my life? I started off as a real nice child, man. Real nice child. And then I hit prison. And I'm telling you, that was other than anything I ever went through in my life. And I never experienced fear, terror, real torture until I hit the penitentiary.
Really?
Hey, look, and it's coming from a nigga that you could tell, bro. Like you could tell when, especially allegedly, you know what I'm saying, he took a life, right? But you can just tell, bro. Like even killers though, you know what I'm saying, or gangsters or whatever you want to call it, bro. Nigga, you can tell, bro. And a lot of the times I feel like at some point in time, they became that person that they, you know what I mean, that they are, but they didn't start off like that. Like no kids, like you just said, he started off a good kid, and then next thing you know, life happened, and it turned him into a whole monster though. Like imagine being in state prison at 15 years old, bro. That's not even supposed to happen. It's supposed to be, you supposed to be juvenile until you turn 18 and then you go to prison. Bro, you in there at 15 with grown men. I'm talking about Niggas that have been working out for at least 3 years straight, nigga. Come on, bro. And you in there with killers, dealers, all type of weirdos and shit like that. That's man.
And what was your first experience with that like? Like, when did you really start to realize how brutal this environment was?
Well, I started realizing it when I took a shower. I was in LaGrange prison, and I took a shower, and this big dude named Reggie. I'm talking about, man, he had a big chest, just muscle up, you know. And he was staring at me, and his thing was hard, and
Pause.
so I got out of the shower and I told some people, some of my friends, and they said, yeah, he's a freak, man. You better watch him. So one day he decided to make his move, man. He got me in a chokehold from the back, and I'm naked and he's naked. And he's trying to pull me in back of and I'm kicking my legs out, and he's trying to pull me in back of this wall where he can finish me up. And I'm trying to get a sound out where I can alert somebody, man, I need help, man.
And you're what, 16?
Man, yeah. And just so happened, one of my friends walked in there and hollered at everybody, he's getting attacked. So all the dudes running there, so we jumped him. We got him on the ground, and I put some boots on, and I said, go get me some boots, man. And dude brought me some boots. I tied him up, and I put some underwears on, and while he was on the ground, I stomped him so bad, and here's what didn't nobody see. It was duty all over the floor.
Nigga said duty. Doodoo.
But they didn't know that came from me. The pee and the duty, that man, he choked me till I duty, man. I shit it. And but I didn't want them to know it came from me, so after I stomped him so bad, I put it out that I stomped him till he shit it. But the shit came from me, man. That was my first terrifying experience, and I was saved by the bell on that encounter. That encounter saved me by the bell. But I got to fighting, you know, I got this angle stuff in me. So they gonna send me to the worstest prison in the state of Kentucky called Eddyville. Now, that's where they got the lecture and people
crazy.
locked up for killing their whole family and stuff. So I went down there and had some real terrifying experiences down there.
Right. So, but when you first beat up this guy who tried to take advantage of you, did you get punished in any way by the jail for that, or did that go undetected?
No, I got punished.
Okay.
Yeah, I did get punished. I got put in a hole, right? But back then, back in them days, if a black person gets hurt, they sweep that under the table.
Really?
Yeah, I seen.
See, look, he was over there really in the South though. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta think about it. He was in the South, like, and back when it was like real racism going on, like heavy population, white people, especially in the jails and stuff like that. That's a whole nother time, bro. Man, man.
People get stabbed and killed, and they swept it right up under the table, man.
Wow.
You know, and then if they do go to court, they get something like 3 years. You kill this man, just got 3 years. You know, and so they didn't really care about black on black crime in prison.
Really? Yeah. I mean, I could imagine that, like, down south prisons during, what is this, the 90s?
Nigga said 90.
It must have been
No, the 80s and the 70s.
the 80s. Oh, shit. But
I went in the prison system in the 70s.
right. Damn. So, okay. But I mean, think about it, like, racism obviously still kind of thrives down south a bit more than where we're at. And it just feels like in
No,
the
it was
prisons,
bad.
it's got to be as archaic as possible.
Man, racism was so bad at this prison.
Yeah.
And I the first day I entered the prison, I had a fight the first day, man, over some cheese. They had a thing out that if you eat cheese, you're a rat. You know. I said, who put that shit out? And wasn't nobody in the prison eat cheese, but I said I'm gonna eat it. And a table of white guys was calling me rats, and I laughed and finished my meal, then picked that tray up, went over and popped one on me in the head. So, and then I went to the hole, and when I got out of the hole, cause they didn't think I was gonna come out of the hole, cause in that prison, the white dudes ran that prison. I don't care what you say. They ran that prison, and they took pride. If they fought somebody black, they took pride in making sure he don't whoop them. They had a lot of pride, man. But when I got out of the hole, I had a butcher knife somebody gave me, and we all talked it out. And so I solved that
Nigga,
problem.
how the hell you get a butcher knife in jail? I mean, well, no, I'm tripping. I'm thinking of a machete. My bad, y'all. Yeah, cause a butcher knife is what, like, that's like a regular kitchen knife, right? Yeah, I think so. So, all right, no, I take that back.
Now everybody's eating cheese.
Wait, you solved the problem of people not eating cheese with the butcher knife? How?
Yeah, see, when I got out of the hole, see, I done went over at the table, took a steel. They used to have steel food trays back then. They got plastic now. Yeah, the ones that was calling me a rat and all that for eating cheese. So it was like 4 of them sitting at the table. So I'm fighting all of them. So when they locked us up, they was making threats. We gonna kill that nigga. We gonna kill him. We gonna contact so and so in the hole. We gonna have him burnt to death. All this stuff. And so I get out of the hole. I said, yeah, I'll go to the back to the yard. And this old black man said, he said, I don't know who you are, but I admire what you did. He said, I'm too old to fight. He said, but you gonna need this. Gave me a butcher knife. And when I seen them coming, I said, here it goes, man. I know I'm gonna die today, but I'm take somebody with me. So I was walking towards him, then I just say, fuck it, and just broke out in a run and was running at him. And I pulled the knife out. I said, I'm just gonna run and just start slicing, right? But they scatter, and they was like, hey, man, we didn't come to fight, man. We didn't come, man, we want to talk, man. We don't know who put that out, man. But I've been eating cheese all my life, and I ain't no rat and all that, man. The guard seen you with that knife, so I passed the knife off to somebody else. They came and shook me down, didn't find it. You know, now everybody's eating cheese now, so.
I mean, I'm used to people describing prison as usually the blacks and the Mexicans have more power than the white guys. Usually the white guys, people describe them as being kind of like meth heads and just junkies and weird.
Man, that's a lie. Them white guys in that prison, they were openly referring to black people as monkeys and niggers. And they would talk it out in the open, and they would dare you to say something about it. They had all the weapons, and like they let them work in the engineering department where they can use a grinder. They was making swords, and they'd come out with a blanket, carrying a whole big arm full of weapons, and then all the blacks are seeing, they scared to death because they ain't got nothing but toothbrushes. And them white guys, they ran that prison. But they ain't never seen nothing like me when I came in there. And they had a land where blacks eat in this land, whites eat in this land. So when I got in the black land, I said, there ain't that many people in this white land. So I went over. They said, man, don't do that. I said, man, f you. I got in the land. Yeah, I did. And I got in the... I broke through the color line. That's exactly what I did. And blacks used to eat in the back of the kitchen. They eat in the middle and in the front. I set a tray down in the middle. Guy said, that's reserved. I said, yeah, for me. And I broke through all that. And so what really saved me in prison was, now I'm getting through with all of this, and really I ain't been tested, really tested. Like hands. Like anybody can whoop somebody with a weapon. I'll stick them, I'll stab them, but ain't nobody really tested my hands yet, right? And so I started fighting the guards, and the guards in that prison was killing inmates. And they said if you cuss one of them guards, they would beat you to death. So I said, well, I'm gonna do something worse than that. I'm gonna throw a 5-gallon bucket of shit on them, and see what they do about that. And I started doing that. And to my man, I don't know how it happened, but I changed that whole prison mind frame with a cup of shit. Everything. I'm serious.
Were you
They
the
was-
first person in that
that
prison
ever-
to start
that
doing that
ever
kind of
did
shit?
it. Yeah. I'm the first.
Okay, so
The first.
there's a new strategy that we've had. Like Rico Reckless is a rapper from Chicago who kind of famously went viral for talking about this, but they would call it the Glock Dookie, where basically they would get
Nigga, this is why you don't go to jail, y'all. My nigga said, like, this is you hold on, my bad. You can't go to jail. You know what I'm saying? Nigga said a Glock Dookie. They throwing Glock Dookies everywhere. Man, stay out of jail, y'all. I'm telling you.
like a water bottle, fill it with shit and piss, and then they would just keep it right there. And if you tried to with them, then they would be able to like spray you with it. Or you take that, you walk down on somebody, you say, hey, give me your noodles, give me whatever that you have that I want from you, or else I'm about to hit you with this. And that's kind of a way that they do battle in there.
Yeah. But here's something that they didn't know. I was so top of the line with this. If you take shit and piss and put it in a bottle and then put milk in it and screw the top on it, the plastic would expand. Eventually, it would explode. It would actually bust like a bomb.
I wonder why.
And because it ferments because of the duty mixed with the milk.
Okay.
The milk, the sour milk in the pea. It makes it ferment and it would explode. So I started making bombs.
Yeah.
I said, I tell a guard, you gonna bring me some cigarettes in there because they stopped smoking at the prison. He said, I can't do that. I said, well, you be wearing this shit. And I would take one, yeah, and they would bring it. Every time they would bring it. Because they didn't want to lose their job, first of all.
Right. By bringing in cigarettes?
Yeah, they didn't want to lose their job. And at the same time, they can't put their hands on me when I throw it on them. That was my advantage. All they got to do is write a report that he threw it on me, and I will put magic shave in her, which makes it really stinks, and then broken glass, and the magic shave will make your hair fall out. So I had a psychological effect, and I'll take a broomstick and chop all the lumps out to make it real thick like a milkshake. So when I throw it on you, and you rub, you just smearing it on you, and the glass is gonna cut you. You're gonna think you got a disease, and then when your hair start falling out, you're gonna go through a mental thing. So I made about, in my 40 years, I made about 80 girls quit their jobs.
Did it ever
Nigga,
cross your
what?
mind?
This nigga made a Glock Dookie bomb, bro. With glass in it. What the fuck? This nigga was next level treachery, bro. What the
Just-
hell?
Holy like, look at the kind of person that I've become. Not even the fault of your own. Like, these are survival mechanisms. But did you ever take a step back and just look at this and just think, like, look at what has become of my life?
Man, I did that many times, but I knew I had to continue. I'm in a situation, once that wheel gets to turning, like I do something to you, and you an officer, so you going to come and do something back. And when you do something back, that's going to make me do something to you for what you did to me. And then the wheels just keep coming. And then you got inmates in there you got to fight, because you got inmates that are done cater into the guards. Like, they give inmates TVs, radio. Tell them you can have a TV, the radio, PlayStation, other little things, and these are not rights. These is privileges. So they can take them at any time. They can't take your rights, but they can take your privilege. So anytime inmates start getting real bad, they'll tell the other inmates, we gonna take y'all stuff if he don't calm down, and try to make inmates fight each other, right? And them guys, they got time to do. They got forever. Some of them ain't never getting out, and they cherish what they can get, that is good. But every time you put me on one of them walks, everybody said, oh, Lord, look who they just put on the walk. Fleece Johnson, please don't come on the walk and start no trial. I said, I'm going to do whatever I got to do. And y'all do what y'all got to do.
For sure. So, okay, how do you get from being 16 and this guy is trying to take advantage of you behind bars, you have to fight him off, you're horrified by the idea of this guy raping you. How do you go from that to the point where you actually start taking advantage of other men or dipping your toe into that?
I'm going to tell you, it started when I went to Eddyville. The cell they put me in, back then they had double cells. They ain't got it no more, but I'll tell you about that later. But they put me in a cell with this big old black dude they call Big Doc. I'm talking about he was about 6'5", weighed about 285, solid, real dark. His nose was about the size of my fist. And he had red eyes like a gorilla. And so I had a little pear knife at that time. And when they put me in the cell with him, he was walking around and he was wearing some shorts with a lot of holes in them. So every time he moved, his dick would pop out. The head of his dick would pop out through the hole.
Pause.
So, I already know where he's going with this, right? So I said, I better say something. So I said, hey, man. See, what I didn't know, let me back it up. What I didn't know, before I moved in that cell, he had a hole in the wall.
Right.
A hole. And what he did, it took a balloon thing and put baby powder in it, blowed it up to where it's about ready to bust, and stuck it up in that hole. Then took a newspaper and put some cement shit on it. And when it hardened, he taped it over and then painted it, where you can't tell it's there. It looked like the wall. So he gonna make me think he ran his hand through the wall just to get some damn ass, right?
I mean, that is such an insane level of plotting and planning to create this element that'll make it look like you're just the biggest psycho ever. Like you could just punch through a wall just so you can then scare your cellmate. And
what, bro? What the pause? Like, nigga, stay out of jail, kids.
That's just,
man. He scared the shit out of me.
Right.
I said, man, why don't you show me some respect?
Right.
He said the only thing I'm gonna show you is this big black cock. And he took and hit that wall. And when I seen his hand, and when I heard that boom, and his arm went up in there, and when he pulled it out and all that white shit on it, I'm thinking it's fragments of the cement or something. I ain't know it was baby powder.
You're thinking he's got superhuman strength.
Man, and when he ran up on me, he's like, stand up. I said, hey, man, can we talk about this? He said, stand up, nigga. And I stood up, and I was holding his wrist. I said, man, don't do this. So he said, do I got to fight you? I said, no. And I'm getting ready to give it to him. I'm not letting nobody run their hand through my, like he did at Wall, right? But his mistake was, it saved me. He tried to kiss me. I already felt his thing up against my booty and everything, but he pulled my head back and tried to stick his tongue in my mouth. And that was the nastiest feeling I ever felt in my life. And I gurgitated. I said, hell no. And by that time, I realized that I had that little pear knife because I moved and it stuck me on the hip. I said, man, he going to have to kill me. So he said, hold your head back. I said, man, no. And I pulled that knife, I just started swinging. I was cutting him, man. I was cutting. Here's what I believe. I believe he died. See, but like I was telling you about racism back in them days, them guards, when they came to get me, I was standing there shaking, holding this knife. He's laying on the ground, cut to hell, blood everywhere. They pulled him out.
What you get, nigga?
They pulled him up out of there. They took me to the hole, and I'm thinking I'm getting ready to get a lot of time. But when I went in front of the disciplinary committee, they say, we know who he is, we know what he does. You'll never see him again. And they let me out of the hole that day, then dropped all the charges. Now, when all the inmates heard about this, they like, oh boy, that little young dude there, boy, you don't want to mess with him. But they don't know. I was right there. I was getting ready to give it to him.
So why do you think he was dead? Just because they said you're never going to see him again?
Yeah, I never did see him again. I don't, and all the prisons in my state, I was sending letters to people. They said, no, nobody like that came to this prison. So I don't know what happened.
That's crazy. I feel like nowadays you would just find out, you would hear about it. But I guess at that time, shit just got lost.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
They did a lot of secret stuff, man. There was a lot of stuff that happened, like dungeons.
Like torture style dungeons.
They was hiring people to break me. They hired this man, he did 21 years into the military interrogation. He was a captain over the interrogation of the enemy. They hired this man to come into prison and break me. And they gave him a house across the street from the prison, and he put word out, anytime I act up, ain't nobody to deal with him but me, but him. So he did waterboarding with me. But I tricked him on that because when I was in the hole, they gave me 12 years in the hole. Well, 27 years, I ended up doing 12. And ain't nobody ever never did that type of time in that prison, in the hole.
You spent 12 years alone.
Nigga.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's insane.
Damn.
And most of it naked.
12 years in the hole, bro? Nigga, what the That's a long ass time, bro.
You know, fighting the guards coming through, take my food tray, say, Fleece, here's your food. Boom. And just throw it through the bars like that. And I got to it off the floor and off the walls and stuff to eat it, right? I said, okay, I'm going to get you. And I always got them. I get back at them. So that's the type of fighting we was doing in there. But what happened was, I started winning. When I started throwing that duty on them, it scared them so bad, and they kept running to the lawmakers in Frankfurt. Can y'all do something about this? They said, no, you work there at your own risk. For 6 years, I threw duty on them and had all the inmates to do it too. And I'm talking about all of them, nurses, doctors, guards. They brought people in from the our state capitol building, corrections cabinet department. They come in wearing them suits and stuff and leave out covered in shit. I did all that. And when they made it a felony, that's when I stopped. You know. But by that time, man, I was controlling the prison at that time.
I mean, it really says a lot that you can take men who have literally nothing. In some cases, they're naked, they're alone, and that they're still going to find some way to fight back, even if it's to take the only weapon that they have, which is the shit coming out of their own asses, and that will be how they fight back. Like, it's crazy that they couldn't kill your spirit enough to just make you just give in. You still were going to take the last possible resource you had and fight back with it.
Well, the guy that they hired to break me, he died trying to break me in the penitentiary. His heart busted. I sat there, I said to myself, I said, you know what? Y'all call him, tell him, man, I'm done. I was getting ready to give in. That man took me through some torture and stuff. And when he came over, he said, you want to see me? I said, yeah. I'll never forget it. He had a pack of non-filter Camel cigarettes. He took out his pocket, did like that. And when he lit it, his body he buckled. And he left and went on outside my door on the side of the wall. I said, oh, shit. Something is wrong with his heart. And when he came back around that corner, I said, I'm going to tell you something, man. If you don't leave me alone, I'm going to bust your heart. You'll die messing with me. And I spit in his face, and it was on. So we went through another big fight, and then 3 days later, they come through, said he died. He was dead.
Okay, but so
That's crazy.
when you just told
This
that
nigga
story.
must just got like the best luck in the world, cause like what the fuck, like this nigga went through a lot of stuff. Like damn. Like what?
About that guy trying to molest you, and that you basically may or may not have killed him. When do you first take interest in another man and actually go about breaking another guy down? Break down that scenario.
I was in the shower. Well, every time they bring sissies into prison, I was the one that'll run my mouth to them. Cuss them out, tell them they were dirty and nasty. That I hope God I'd take them and put them in bundles and burn them. All this stuff. And then they brought one in. He was just like a woman. And he had a big old butt like Serena Williams. And he was real nice. He said, can I talk to you? I said, no, you can't say nothing to me, fag. You know, all that. He said, what did I do to you? I said, shut up. And then one day I was in the shower by myself. I usually like taking showers when nobody's in there. You know, I don't want to go through all that old shit.
What were you scared of in the shower?
Everybody coming to see, in the prison I was in, they had this thing called saltpeter. You ever heard of that?
Saltpeter?
Yeah.
Yeah, what is that? I forget.
It's supposed to something you put in the food. It's supposed to make it to where you can't get aroused.
Right, yeah.
But if you put too much, it'll have the reverse effect. Everybody's hard, right?
Oh, wow.
So they had sissies working in the kitchen, and they was deliberately putting more to get everybody hard and rocked up all the time, right? So every time you stand up, your shit is rocked up. So I'm in the shower, and this dude come in, this little gay dude. I didn't know he was in there, and I was washing I had a lot of hair then. I was washing my hair, and I heard somebody something. I turned around and looked. I seen him from the back, and that soap was going down his back and going through the crack of that big old bubble ass of his. I said, oh, God. And I'm hard, so I'm like, I said, I'm him. I said, he's scared of me already. So I said, I'm gonna take his.
Whoa, 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 nigga. He's a little too excited saying that. Oh, pause, nigga. What the fuck? Hold on. Skip a little. Skip a little further, man. Like, what the fuck? Hell no.
My child somewhere where I can get some visitational rights, and he just looked at me like saying he's sick, you know. And he had a therapist and this lady, she said, well, I want to talk to you, Mr. Johnson. I said, about what? She said, about your child. I said, what about my child? You don't have, I said, look, man, who's this bitch? And I'm ready to go off, right? And it took me a day to take me through a whole bunch of mental stuff before I realized that he wasn't pregnant because he put something up under his t-shirt and made his belly big. And when I tried to touch it, he said, get away from me. Don't you touch it. You ain't got the right to touch this baby because you the one to say you didn't want it and you let everybody tell you I wasn't pregnant. But nigga, you looking at my stomach right now. What you think now? I cried everything, man.
So he was just on some crazy shit, or was he just looking for attention?
He wanted to be a woman so bad.
Oh wow.
That he staged that little scene right there. But it took me through a lot of mental stuff. But
and that's where we leaving it. Cause hell no. Nigga, what the fuck? Don't go to prison, y'all. Don't go to jail. Stay out the streets. Nah. Stay out the streets, nigga. Nah. Stay.
What do you mean by that?
No. Stay out the streets. Don't go there. Don't even go home. Go home, nigga. Go home. Don't even. Nah. Don't. No. Hanging out? No. Take your ass home. Go home. Jail ain't it, man. Jail ain't no. Jail. Listen. Jail ain't it. Now. Shit crazy, man. But if y'all want to go ahead and check out the rest of that story, I'm not gonna watch that whole thing. I watched like half of it with y'all. So, man, let me know what y'all think in the comments. That is a crazy story, and like I said, man, please stay out the streets. It's not what you want to be at. Stay your ass out of jail, man. Go home. Go home. But anyway, man, make sure y'all go ahead and like, comment, subscribe to the channel if you're new here. You already know it's your boy. And I'm going to get at y'all on the next one. I'm gone.
Never seen a rope.